Welcome. It's so wonderful to be here with each of you. Today's class, we're going to focus on supporting the spine from the front and the back, especially as we come into our standing poses and our forward folds. The goal is for this to help us find a lot of fluidity in our movements. So it should be strengthening, but also really fun and therapeutic and sweet. So with that, let's begin. Oh, yay, I've got good news. We get to begin on our bellies, stack the hands, elbows wide, and set up so that your right elbow is facing towards the screen, right? So the long edge of the mat is towards your computer, and your right elbow is pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Yeah, and once you're there, stack the hands, rest your forehead on your hands, and just start breathing. And I love to tell people that this pose is actually strengthening for the diaphragm. So one of your main core muscles is turning on right now. It's strengthening, you're benefiting as you relax, as you tune in to your breath flow. And we'll be exploring the breath here for several moments. So give yourself the freedom to wiggle around. Notice any sense of compression. Sometimes the shoulders or the neck can be a little tight. Try walking the elbows a little wider, letting the armpits melt, tucking the chin a little bit, adjusting the forehead. The more supported you feel, the more you can relax, the more your nervous system can relax. You can find a fuller freedom in your breath. And try to visualize your lungs, your rib cage. And as you breathe, notice a sense of not just the chest opening, but the side body, the back body. This three-dimensional expansion with every breath. And take several breaths like that, and maybe as you breathe you notice tightness somewhere in the body. Feel free to adjust your positioning or breathe into that tightness, seeing if just your awareness alone can help that area soften. And we'll take 5 more deep breaths here. And try to slow them down a little and enjoy each moment, the whole pathway of the breath. Hey Tori, I see you just joined. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you could make it. And so with this same level of inner awareness, continue to try to feel the three-dimensional expansion of the ribs and lungs. And gently place the hands underneath the shoulders and rest the forehead on the mat. And with the hands under the shoulders, don't actually move them, but grip the fingertips and start to traction the hands back. And just notice a sense of stability in the shoulders. We're waking up the back muscles, and we're actually going to be using this upright And so we won't have the help of the floor, right? So try to remember the sensation of dragging the hands back, allowing the shoulder blades to slide down the back. Notice any sense of the heart subtly puffing up. We're not even lifting the head at this point. We're just trying to awaken these muscles so they can support us when we do this upright. And then we'll go the other way. So instead of hands dragging back, start to push the hands forward. And as you push the hands forward, again, you're not going to go very far, but you might notice a sense of the arms anchoring in towards the body, and even this subtle hollowing out. The hands connecting through the shoulders, into the back, into the core. And let's take that to the next level by pushing into the hands and letting the body lift and start to send the hips back to the heels, but really feel how the pushing of the hands allows you to hollow out the body, and then start to walk the hands back so the hips can make it all the way to the heels. We'll play with a few waving vinyasas here. Aloha, Octavia. It's so great to be here with you. And so push down into the shins without going anywhere, and just notice a sense of buoyancy and lightness in the pelvis. As you push down into the shins, the body naturally starts to rise. Start to push down into the hands and use both the legs and the hands to hollow out the body. So you're arcing the back, just like cat pose, allowing the spine to and the hips to press forward slightly. Then when you make it to the point where the shoulders stack over the wrists, we'll do what we just did on our belly, right? We'll traction the hands back, feel the shoulder blades slide down, and feel the heart subtly puff up. Just like a cow pose, right? Not too deep of a back bend. Yeah, that looks really great, Kaylin. And then push down into the hands, hollowing out the body opposite direction, hips to heels. So we take extra time for this in the beginning so that we can start to wire this into our body. Push down into the shins, down into the hands. Again, feel the whole front side of the body supporting the spine. So you're rounding into the air. That looks great, Tori. Let the spine press forward, shoulders over wrists, and then traction the hands back. Allow the spine to lengthen, allow the heart to open. Not a deep back bend, but feel a sense of spaciousness in the front of the body. And now continue on your own, moving as slowly as you need to. I want to be able to observe you guys, but really try to feel the movement starting at the shins, pushing down and arcing the body into the air. Use the hands to accentuate that. And then at the last second, when the shoulders are over the wrists, traction the hands back. Nice, Radharani. Feel that heart just melting open. No force. Great, Roseanne. And then send the body back with the hands, and just take a couple more on your own, or rest. You know, in some time zones, I know it's quite late, so if you just want to chill out in Bhaktasana for a moment, that's okay too. All right. And the next time the hips press back to the heels, we'll all meet there, so you don't need to rush, but just pause when you've arrived. And we'll play with that same idea of pushing down into the shins, but instead of rising up to table, we'll actually rise up to kneeling. So push down into the shins, allow the hips to start to press forward, and just notice the spine starting to stack on top of the pelvis, like a reverse melting. Like we're just rewinding the Wicked Witch of the West, melting to the floor, right? And now we're all up at kneeling. And we're going to play with that same action. You can actually turn to face me for this moment, just so it's a little easier, and just pretend this part's not happening, because I really like when the sequence is so smooth. So remember the tractioning back with the hands when we were on our belly? Let's try that in the air. Okay, so hands in front of the shoulders, grip your imaginary floor in front of you, and just start to drag the hands back. Notice the shoulders waking up, and just notice that sense of the heart opening. Great. And then start to push the hands forward and really try to feel the body hollowing out. You don't have to overdo it, but feel the strength in the front of the spine as you push the arms forward. I'll turn so you can see it. Hollowing out, and then come back. tractioning the hands, letting the heart open. And do that a couple of times. We're going to make it a little more fluid and more complex, but I want to make sure you guys really get these two parts first. So far, everybody looks great. Okay, so come back to center. It's almost like you've got two records in front of you. You're like a really cool DJ, you know. Place your hands on the inside of the records and start to drag the hands back. So there's the back bend, right? But then you're turning the records out, and as you push the hands forward, you can hollow out. And then drag the hands back, back bend, and then circle the records forward, rounding. And it's not so much about the arms, right? It's really just letting the arms guide the spine into this opening and into this hollowing. So if you're feeling the shoulders a lot, try to take it down a notch and try to feel it more in your core. Yeah. And so originally, this was like kind of like our hula dance. And I was calling it welcoming circle, but maybe we should call it cool DJ instead. I think I'm going to go with cool DJ because that's just what came out in the moment. So we are going to be coming back to this movement quite a bit. So just take a few more rounds, just feeling that sense of the shoulders and the arms guiding the spine, supporting the spine in the back bend, and supporting the spine in the forward fold. Yeah, you guys look great. All right, and then this never happened, right? So we're turning back to the way we were. And just step the right foot forward. And we're going towards a lunge, so inch the foot forward just a little bit so you have some room for the hips to start to pulse in and out. And just bend into the front knee a couple of times. And then push into the front foot. So there's that sense of the pelvis starting to lift. You're not in a super deep lunge. And let's try our cool DJ move. So hands on your vinyl, friends. And start to drag the hands back, letting the heart open. And then circle the arms open, letting the body hollow. And again, this is more about the core. So it's almost like the hands are weightless and they're just floating. And they're encouraging this openness and this support along the spine. And allow the legs to start to follow. So at first it might just be about the spine. But then as you back bend, see if you can bend a little deeper into the knee. And as you round the spine, see if you can come out a little bit. And just let it be more of a full body experience. And don't worry, we're going to play with this a lot. So if it feels like too many moving parts, it's just going to become more and more familiar. And the next time the hands are pulling back and the knees bending, just pause there. Lift the fingertips so you can open the heart even more and take a breath to the heart space. Anjaneyasana. And then release the hands inside of the foot. Let the pelvis melt towards the floor. And just take some nice slow hula hoops, releasing any tension in the front of that left hip. You can go both directions. And then press into the hands so you can step the right foot back. Push the hips back to the heels and just pause. In Bhaktasana, take a couple of breaths. And then we'll repeat that on the second side, starting with the waving vinyasa. So stay here as long as you want, but when you're ready to move, push down into shins, push down into palms, support the front of the spine in your forward fold, coming forward, and then at the end, traction the hands back, lengthen the spine, let the belly drop just a little bit. And then push into the hands to send hips back to the heels. This time push down into the shins to slowly rise up into kneeling. And we'll take one practice round of our cool DJ. Just letting the spine arch and round. And then step the left foot forward, inch it forward just a little bit, and take some test bends with the knee. And as you bend into the front knee, give yourself permission to move that foot around. You want the knee to feel really supported. So if you're feeling any pressure or tension on the front or sides of the knee, walk the foot over to the side. That might feel a little more supported for the knee and pelvis. And then we'll add in that movement. I'm sorry, I can't call it cool DJ anymore. I'm over it. So we are going to call it welcoming circle, right? It's just like you're inviting. I heard a giggle, so whoever's unmuted, thank you for that. Imagine you're just drawing in this really nourishing energy, right? You're just connecting to it and inviting it into yourself. And then when you feel comfortable, you can start to add the legs in, right? So as the arms reach back, the knee bends. And as the arms reach forward, the leg kicks. And just start to feel everything connecting back to the center, helping your spine participate in this waving action of rounding forward and arching. And the next time you bend into the knee, pause there, lift the fingertips like goalposts, and just breathe into the heart. And then release the hands inside the left foot and take some hula hoops. And sometimes it feels nice to separate the knee and the foot a little bit more so you've got some extra room to explore. We're not going for a deep stretch, just trying to release any built up tension, front of the right hip and the psoas. And then walk the left foot in just a little bit. Tuck the back toes, hover the back knee, inch the back foot in so that it's easy to put more support in the left foot. And then slide the right knee forward, place the right shin down, coming into a cross-legged position. So take a moment to figure that one out. We'll be doing that a lot, so you'll get better at it. And we'll all meet cross-legged with the left leg in front and just pause. Just take a few deep breaths here, letting all that information settle. Don't force yourself to sit up really tall. Just notice what kind of support is around the spine from that work that you've just done. Bring hands to heart center. Take a couple of deep breaths to the heart, connecting with any intention you'd like to set for your practice or just the goal of being present for our time together. Breathe into that. And we'll start with our opening circle once again. So palms down, start to draw the hands back to open the heart, circle the arms wide, and then hollow the body as the arms circle forward. And just take 2 more of those. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes being dramatic is easier, and that's fine. But as you get the hang of it, almost see how little you can do and still remain really fluid. And then turn towards the left leg and do the same thing, but just notice the slight asymmetry in the body, right? You might notice the right side of the body stretching a little bit or the left hip having to support you more. And just be okay with that asymmetry and then go over the right knee. And after your third circle to the right, reach the arms up. Keep the ankles crossed, but lift the knee. Plant the right hand behind you. Push down into the feet and the back knee, slowly swiveling your knees to the right and then down to the mat so you're magically in a tabletop. And just pause in tabletop. Paw out the hands so that you can find a supportive place for the shoulders. And then gently walk the hands forward. Press into the hands, sending the hips back to the heels, and then push down into the knees and the toes to round forward, baby wave, let the belly drop, gaze forward, draw the hands back. And then instead of pushing hips back to heels, this time imagine your hands are like, somehow this isn't going to be gross, okay? Like, so somehow it's like your gum or something, but there's gum, like a lot of gum underneath your hands. And you're starting to lift the right hand, but there's like a resistance. It's like sticky and you have to really like ooey gooey lift it up. Maybe like you're making fudge. That's less gross. You know how candy gets really sticky in the pot when you're making it? And then try the other hand. You're lifting the hand up, but there's resistance. It's ooey and it's gooey. And go right and left, repeating this, but each time, let the hands start to walk in towards the knee. And just reaching the hand gently up and feeling that connection up into the shoulder, up into the core. Eventually the hands will make it all the way to the knees. Start to push into the hands, rolling into the balls of the feet. Walk the hands in even more, and then push into the feet, letting the hips lift. The knees can stay really deeply bent. We're in Uttanasana. I'm always going to encourage a nice deep knee bend here so there's no tension in the spine. That looks great, Dana. You can wave or just wag the tail from left to right, noticing the backs of the legs. And then push down into the feet, and your hands are still in your hot fudge, whatever sticky thing. And so as you push down into the feet, feel that resistance as the hands start to pull away from the ground, and see if that can help you strengthen your core a little bit. It's like you really have to pull from the center of your being to ungrip the fingertips from the sticky candy. And slowly make your way all the way up. Lift your arms overhead and shift your weight into the left foot. As you pull the elbows down, hover the right knee, and then set the foot down and lift the hands again. And do that a couple times. So elbows down, knee up, and then foot down, hands up. And just try to repeat this enough that you start to feel like the movement's happening at once, right? The elbows pulling down is what magically lifts the knee. The next time the knee magically lifts, place the sole of the foot anywhere inside the left leg. Make sure the left leg feels strong so there's no pressure in the knee. Just pause. Let the elbows press down, again, opening the heart, just like we've been practicing so often. You can imagine that invisible wall in front of you, tractioning the fingers down the wall to open the heart. And then hover the right knee and take a generous step forward. Release the hands to the hips. Give your shoulders a little break. They've already done a lot. And start to shift the weight forward and back from foot to foot. Allow that right foot. Walk open as much as you need to for the pelvis to feel really supported. And then pause. Press evenly through both feet and just check in with the knees. Make sure they feel supported. It's okay to hover the back heel and bend the back knee if there's any tension back there. And then bend the front knee for Virabhadrasana 1. Bring hands to heart, take a breath to the heart, and then you probably could have guessed it. We're going to go for those opening circles. So palms down, start to drag the hands back. Let that open the heart, expanding through the spine. And then as the arms circle forward, feel support on the front of the spine, allowing you to round forward slightly. And then repeat this 2 more times. Again, just let this help you explore support in the spine. The next time you bend back, pause there for a moment, lift your fingertips, let the heart open. And then, same idea as we circle the arms forward, reach the arms forward and try to feel that hollowness in the body. Keep the front knee deeply bent so that you can release over the leg. Bring hands to shins or to frame the front foot. And then just play with kicking into the heel to extend the leg and then bend the knee and extend and bend. Do that a couple times, just noticing the sensations in the back of the leg. Try not to overdo it. Sometimes we think like, if I kick really hard here, it'll be really great for my hamstring. It's not true. Try to find some fluidity and ease. Make friends with your body. The next time the front knee bends, shift the weight into the front foot. Let the back foot hover. And then step the back foot beside the front foot. Bend the knees deeply, Uttanasana. Make sure the feet are nice and wide underneath the hips so you feel supported. And then push down into the feet, slowly rising back up. Hands up. We're going to do that exact same thing on the second side. You guys have longer legs than I do, so you're further forward on your mat, but we'll see how this goes. So shift the weight into the left foot. So same as before. Elbows down, knee up. This time just bring the foot right to the thigh. Pause for a moment, letting the heart open. And then take a step forward with the right foot. Let's see, is that going to be chaos for everyone? Okay, good. You just made it. That was a close one. And then shift the weight, hands to the hips, shift the weight forward and back until you find a place where the pelvis is really supported and the knees are supple. And then bend the front knee. Hands in front of you, and then draw the hands back, opening the heart, circle the arms forward, rounding the spine. And take 2 more of those. The next time you come into the back bend, pause, breathe. You can lift the fingertips if that helps you open the front of the body a little bit more. And then almost continue the circle, allowing the body to round so you have a lot of support in the front of the spine as you start to dive forward, hands frame the front foot, and just kick and bend a couple of times, just exploring the back of the right leg. Okay, same transition that we played with before. Bend the back knee, shift the weight into the right foot, start to bring the left knee forward, lower the left knee, lower the left hip, and instead of coming cross-legged right away, just take a nice twist towards the right knee. Modified Urdhva Matsyendrasana. So the right knee should be bent. You can just gently twist towards it. And then lift the right leg, let it nestle in front of the left, and just pause in Sukhasana. Take a couple of breaths. And we'll do that exact same sequence on the second side, and then we'll start to speed things up and let things flow a little bit more. And so bring the hands to the heart, take a breath to the heart, and then palms down, 3 opening circles forward. Again, feel how the arms help you open the spine and then round forward with support. And you don't have to go very far. And then turn to the right, so away from me, and do it over the right leg 3 times. And then towards the left leg. And the more you do this, maybe you notice you can go a little lower and still feel supported. Feel free but not obligated to play in that terrain. And then lift the arms up, lift the knees, keep the ankles crossed, left hand behind you, push down into the left hand, down into the feet, untwisting the other way. So you're back in table, walk the hands forward, and then push into the hands, hips to heels. Take a breath here, let everything settle in. And then push down into the shins and the hands, rounding the spine forward. At the last moment, traction the hands back and let the heart open. And then you're making candy, so you've got like this really sticky, simple syrup. So you walk the hands back to the legs. Try to feel that resistance, like slowly lifting the hand away, but it's trapped in that syrup that pulls it back down. Then once you make it to the knees, tuck the toes, let the knees hover, and keep walking the hands in. And then slowly start to lift the hips. So you're in Uttanasana. Push down into the feet. Let the hips start to press forward, and just feel 1 vertebra at a time stack. Head and neck come up last, and then the arms actually follow. So the hands come to stack over the shoulders. Shift the weight into the right leg this time. Elbows down, knee up, and then foot down, hands up. And do this a couple of times, just letting that become a little more familiar to you. And the next time the left foot lifts, let it rest. You can always help it if you want it to be a little higher up. And just pause in Vrikshasana, tree pose. Find a drishti. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let the heart open slightly. And then hover the left knee and take a natural step forward. And then maybe you won't be so far along on your yoga mat. Natural step forward, hands to hips. Shift the weight forward and back. Let the hips point to the short edge of the mat. And let the back heel spin up so the back toes are mostly forward. When you find a comfortable place, bend the front knee. Hands in front of you. 3 circles here. Drag the hands back. The back muscles help the heart open. And then circle the arms forward and feel the core muscles in the front of the spine round you. You guys look so fluid here. Maybe I should call it cool DJ after all. And the next time you arch the back, pause there, flip fingertips up. Let the whole front of the body open. play with pushing into the back foot a little bit more and see if that helps you open in the front of that right hip a little bit. And then finish the circle so you have that sense of hollowing out in the body, and use that support to help guide you down towards the floor. The front knee is deeply bent, and then kick into the front heel. Let the leg extend any amount, but it doesn't have to be a lot, and then bend and extend. Just notice how kicking into the foot encourages the leg to extend. Try to find the place where it's interesting, but not too much. And the next time the knee bends, shift the weight into the front foot, lift the back foot, and then set the right foot down underneath the right hip, bend the knees, push into the feet, press the hips forward to stack the spine, and then stack the arms, shift the weight into the right foot, left knee up, elbows down, and then just go right into tree this time. Pause, take a breath to the heart. And then step the left foot forward, shift the weight forward and back, walking the feet out till you find a really supportive, buoyant place for the pelvis. Make sure the back toes are mostly forward so there's no twisting in the knee. And then take your 3 circles. And remember, because we're doing this so often, try to make sure the shoulders aren't doing too much work. Our cores are strong. They can do this over and over again. But our shoulders are going to get achy and sore if it's not integrating back to our center. Less is more. And the next time the knee bends and the arms reach back, flip the fingertips up, take a breath. And then press the arms forward, hollow the body, release forward, kick the leg, and then bend the knee. Kick and bend. And then bend into the front knee, shift the weight forward, and slowly bring the back foot forward so the right knee can lower, and then the right hip can lower, and then twist towards the left knee. Modified Urdhva Matsyendrasana, because the leg's not quite crossed. Yes, you got it. So we're twisting to the left. And then just hover the left leg and cross it in front of the right, and just pause. Take a couple of breaths. Feel free to grab a sip of water. That's our sequence. Of course, we're going to build on it. Of course, it's going to get more interesting. But you know all the tricky stuff. You know what to expect now. And this means the music can get a little more interesting. So I put the songs in the wrong order. Go figure. So instead of playing the next song, play the last one. The Desert Dweller song that says, "One that shows the way." And it's okay if you're not using music. Silence is golden, as they say. All right, so take your time. We'll all eventually meet cross-legged with hands at the heart, left leg in front. And so now we'll just take one circle in each direction. So start with one opening circle forward, and then to the left, and then to the right. And then lift the arms, lift the knees, right hand behind you, and untwist to table. This time, walk the hands a little further forward and press the hips back to the heels, just like we did before. Push down into the shins, rounding forward, and then pull the hands back, dropping the belly into cow pose. Hover the knees, and staying in cow, start to push into the hands, lengthening the sit bones up. Deep knee bend. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You can wag your tail a little bit to let each side body lengthen. And then, unfortunately, we are still in our like sticky candy syrup that's just gluing our hands to the floor. Maybe Elmer's glue. Maybe that's a better one. And so start to lift one hand at a time. And try to get the sense that you really have to use your core to lift the hand away from the floor as you walk one hand at a time back towards the feet. And then we'll all meet in Uttanasana, which means keep the knees deeply bent. Let this be effortless. Don't worry, there will be time for effort, I promise. Press down into the feet, slowly rise up. Reach the arms up, shift the weight into the left foot. Right knee up, elbows down, and then just come right into that tree pose. And pause, find your drishti, gently squeeze the right foot towards the thigh and the thigh back to the foot so your trunk feels really strong. If you want to challenge your balance here, you can play with taking one opening circle from balance. And so as the back bends and rounds, it's actually quite challenging. All right, I see some brave trees. And then step the right foot forward, shift the weight forward and back, bring the hands to the hips, and then find a place for the pelvis to settle, bend the knee. Hands in front of you. Let's just take one circle here, opening the heart, bend into the knee a little bit more, and then as the arms circle forward and the spine rounds, go straight down towards the foot and then extend the leg, Parsvottanasana. And then to come back up, bend the right knee, push into the foot, and as you push into the foot, feel the right leg energize and use that power to slowly rise up. And then we repeat. So drag the hands back, bend the right knee, let the heart open, and then circle the arms forward and start to bow over the front leg. Once the hands touch the ground, then you can straighten the leg. And then bend into the front knee, power into the foot. Use that to rise up with control one last time. So circle the arms back, heart opens, knee bends, and then circle the arms forward. Support the front of your spine as you bow. Great control there, Roseanne. Extend the front leg. And then bend the front knee. We're going to do something. We're not going to come back up this time. Shift the weight into the right foot. Let the left leg fly. And then bend both knees, hugging inner thighs together, and extend both legs, kicking the left leg up. And do that a couple of times. I know that right leg's tired. And then set the left foot down underneath the left hip. Bend both knees. Let the head hang. Press into the feet. Slowly rise up. Lift the hands last. Shift the weight into the left foot. Elbows down. Knee up. Place the sole of the foot to the thigh. Pause and tree. Option to challenge your balance with an opening circle. And then we step the right foot forward. And it can be a short step, right? And then shift the weight forward and back. Bend the knee. And drag the hands back to open the heart. Circle the arms forward to round. And then gently start to lengthen over the front leg. Kick into the heel. Let the leg lengthen. And then bend into the front knee. Actually, let's not repeat that because you already did it so many times. So shift the weight into the front foot. Lengthen the left foot back. Hug inner thighs together so both knees bend. And then this time, as you unfurl, shoot the left foot back. Let the toes come down and start to walk the hands over to the left. Turn all 10 toes so you're in a wide straddle. Bend into one knee at a time. I know that right leg is tired, so see if as you shift the weight from side to side, if you can give that leg a little bit of relief. Try bending into the left knee, letting that right leg stretch. Just explore. Make sure you're breathing and you're feeling. Try to move nice and slow here. And then press into the feet, press the hips forward to slowly rise up to a wide straddle. Let the arms lift and bend the knees a little bit. And as you bend the knees, just notice if you can bring even weight into the inside and outside of the foot, the heel and the ball of the foot. If you're feeling a lot of discomfort in the knees, close your stance a little bit, and then that just might feel a little supported, a little more supported. So bend the knees, let the spine release forward, push into the feet, rise up. And then bend over the left leg. You don't have to touch the floor, but just exploring all sides of the core. And then bend over the right leg, and this time actually turn the toes. So the right toes turn towards the short edge of the mat, and the left toes come in slightly. And then push down into the feet, rising up into Virabhadrasana 2. Let the left arm reach up and open. And just like we did in Vira 1, shift the weight from side to side. So there's a sense of exploring and finding support in the pelvis and actually letting the feet move. They don't have to be stuck in place. Straighten the right leg, reach the arms up, and then bend the right knee, let the arms come to T. Just take a couple of pulses here. And actually, instead of arms to T, let's do goalpost arms. Just letting the heart subtly open as the knee bends, just a little bit. The next time the knee bends and the heart opens, pause. Start to tip over to the right. And notice the right sit bone. Let the right sit bone drop towards the right heel just a little bit, like really subtly, just to support your weight a little bit better. And then push into that foot, straighten the leg, come back up. Bend the right knee, cactus arms, and then tilt over the right leg. Push into the right foot, come up, straighten the arms. We'll do that one last time. Bend the knee and the arms. Tip over to the right. And then this time, push into the back toes. Let the heel spin up. Root the left hand down underneath the shoulder and twist towards the right leg. Option to drop the back knee. It can feel really good to let the hips soften and release here, so just choose what your body needs. And then release the right hand down, tuck back toes, slide the back foot forward just a little bit so there's more weight in the right foot. Power into the right foot so you feel really strong, and then slide left knee forward, left shin down, left hip down, twist to the right. And then lift the right leg, give it a little cradle. Say, thank you, gosh, you did a lot of work for me just now. And then place the right foot in front of the left, and we'll just pause and take a few breaths here. And try not to think. Try to just feel. Feel the breath. Feel any areas of warmth in the body, or maybe an area that said, that was too much. And that's okay. We're going to get another chance. And so take this as an opportunity to learn. Bring hands to heart center. Take a breath to the heart. And now we'll repeat. We'll take one circle forward, one circle to the right, one circle to the left, just drawing in the nourishing energy of your practice. Reach the arms up, reach the knees up, left hand behind you, push down into the feet and down into the back hand, untwist to table. Walk the hands forward, send the hips back. Just take a breath. Bhaktasana. Push down into the shins. Press down into the hands, rounding the spine forward. And then at the last second, pull the hands back. Glorified cow pose. And then tuck the toes. Push into the hands, reaching the sits bones up and back. Deep bend in the knees so you can really lengthen from palms to sits bones. And then you can play with lengthening one leg at a time, but don't force it. And then slowly start to lift one hand at a time against that resistance of the really tacky Elmer's glue. And start to walk one hand at a time back towards the feet. Bend the knees deeply, let the head hang. And then push down into the feet to slowly rise up. Lift the hand, shift the weight into the right. Elbows down, sole of the foot up, pause and tree. And imagine that invisible wall tractioning the hands down so you can really lengthen the spine, support the back of the heart. Option to take a circle here to challenge your tree a little bit. And then step the left foot forward, just a nice short step, shift the weight forward and back. And then bend the front knee. Take a circle to open. And then finish the circle and slowly release forward with control. When the hands make it to the ground, kick into the front leg, letting it lengthen any amount. And then bend into the front knee, push into the front foot, rise up. Let's repeat. Left knee bends, circle the arms back, letting the heart open. And then circle the arms forward, supporting the front of the spine. Nice and slow, good control, Radharani. And then extend the front leg. Last one, bend into the front knee, press into the front foot, slowly rising up with control. And then circle the arms back, letting the heart open. And circle the arms forward, supporting the spine. Extend the front leg. Take a couple of breaths. Looks really nice, Kaylin. And then bend into the front foot. Extend the right leg up this time. And then bend both knees just a little bit. Hug inner thighs together. And then open everything up. Hug everything together. Open everything up. And then let the right foot step right underneath the right hip. Bend knees generously. Wag your tail a little bit. Push down into the feet. To rise up to standing, lift the arms, shift the weight to the right, elbows down, knee up, pause in tree. Option to challenge your balance. And then with arms in cactus, step the left foot forward, shift the weight until the pelvis feels really supported. The feet are nice and wide. Hands in front of you, bend the left knee, drag the hands back, open the spine. Circle the arms forward and release forward with control, hands down. Kick into the left leg. Hi, Tammy, you're very close right now. And then extend the front leg and wag the tail. Bend the knee. Shift the weight forward. So we only do one on that second time because I don't want anyone to be upset. So shift the weight forward. Extend the left leg up, right leg. Hug inner thighs together. And then this time, as you open the right leg up and out, send it way back. Turn all 10 toes towards the side of the mat facing me and walk your hands to the right. So you're back in that straddle. Breathe into the left leg. And this is your time to explore a little bit. So you might want to try bending the right knee to give that left leg a stretch. And then go the other way. Can let it be a little faster, like quicker bends, just letting the tail wag a little bit, letting the spine follow. And then we walk the hands to center if they're not already. Push down into the feet to slowly rise up to our high straddle. Reach the arms up, and then just pay attention to your knees. If you're feeling a lot of sensation in your knees, I'm going to encourage you to walk the feet a little closer together. It's almost like then your knees go away and it means they're really supported. Bend the knees and slowly melt forward by lifting the hips up. And then push into the feet, press the hips forward to rise up. And then do the same thing over the right leg. You might not go as far, it's kind of different asymmetrically. And then to the left. Then bend the left knee a lot. Turn the left toes out towards the short edge of the mat. Let the right heel come out a little bit. And as long as you're down here, just check out your feet. The heels will roughly be in line, or the left heel will be in line with the arch of the foot. And push down into the feet to slowly rise up. Lift the arms overhead. Bend the left knee. Bend the elbows to cactus. And take a couple of pulses here. And as you bend into the left knee, check in with the hips, check in with the knees. Feel free to shorten your stance at any time, just so this can feel more fluid. The next time the left knee bends, start to tip the pelvis over to the left. And notice what that does in the back of the left leg as the body reaches over to the left. And then push into the left foot, straighten the left leg, reach up. Bend left knee, cactus arms. Feel everything drawing towards center. And then tip over the left leg and let the left glute, the left side, the bottom of the pelvis really support you here. Shift a little more weight into that left leg, just noticing that support. Last one, lengthen the left leg, reach up. Bend the left knee, arms to cactus. Great. And then start to tip over the left leg. Bend that knee a little bit more and just feel the support underneath you. And try to notice an even support on the inner thigh, the outer thigh, back of the leg, top of the leg. And then release the right arm down. Let the back heel spin up. Option to drop the back knee and twist towards the left leg. Take a breath. And then release the lifted hand. Shift the weight into the front foot so you can slide the right knee forward, bring the right hip down, and twist to the left. And then lift the left leg, give it a little cradle, and set it in front of the right. And we pause. If you're doing the music thing, now we will go to the second track, Dreams Within a Dream. And it's not a big deal if we're not on the same track. I know it was confusing that they were out of order. So we were prepared to repeat that sequence. And as the body knows where you're going and how to support you there, and I've been watching you guys and you all look really good, see if you can make things a little more fluid. You know, see if there can be a sense of ease and grace. And don't even worry about how deep you go. And always feel free to ignore me as you know what's coming. You can do more or less. We'll bring hands to heart. And just take 3 breaths to the heart. Checking in with yourself, honoring what your body needs right now. We'll take 1 circle forward, just noticing if there's more support to fold forward a little bit deeper. And then to the left. And then to the right. Hands up, knees up. Right hand behind you. And then untwist, tabletop, walk the hands forward. Send the hips back, Bhaktasana. Push into the shins. Arc the spine forward. Glorified cow might be my new favorite pose name. And then tuck the toes. Push into the hands, reaching the hips up. Feel that length. Nice, Tori. Keep a nice deep bend in the knee and then just play with one leg extending at a time. And then slowly bring one hand back at a time by shifting the weight from side to side. Bend the knees deeply. Pause in Uttanasana. Breathe through the whole backside of the body. And then push down into the feet to rise up. Arms up last. Shift the weight to the left. Elbows down. Knee up. Sole of foot to inner thigh. Option to challenge your balance or just pause and breathe here. Great balance, everybody. Dana's going for it. Way to go, Dana. Step the right foot forward. Shift the weight forward and back. And then bend the knee. Drag the hands back to open the front of the body. And then circle the arms forward, rounding the body. Start to release all the way down. Kick into the front leg, extending. And then bend the front knee. Push into the foot to come up. This time we'll have an option to add something on. So drag the hands back just like we did before. This time as you circle the arms forward, instead of folding forward, try just reaching forward and notice if you can find like a weightless Virabhadrasana 3. And if that's not happening, set the back foot down and just fold instead, whatever feels fun. There is no right or wrong. We'll all meet with the weight in the front foot, hands down, left leg up. Bend both knees, hug them together, and then extend both legs. And then set the left foot down underneath the left hip. Bend both knees generously. Push down into the feet. Rise up, hands up. Shift into the left leg. Elbows down, knees up. Tree pose, you know the drill. And then right foot forward, shifting weight. We'll just have one round here. So we start with the back bend. and then play with the forward fold, or just start to reach the arms forward and take flight, whatever feels inviting to you. Nice, Kaylin. Nice, Roseanne. Nice, Octavia. You guys are crushing it. And then bend the front knee, release the hands down, let the back leg lift, and then bend the right knee really generously so you can kick out through the left foot, stepping long, turn all 10 toes to the left, walk the hands to the left, and give yourself the freedom. I really like bending my left knee here and just letting my right hip open. So feel free to explore that and just shift the weight forward and back, or go back and forth, let the spine sway. There's no right or wrong. Just try to feel what's useful. Yeah, it's so cool. Everybody's doing something different. That looks fun, Tori. And then push it down into the feet. Bring the hands to center and slowly rise up. Reach the arms up. Bend the knees. And notice the pelvis starting to tip forward. And don't even think about the spine. Just let the pelvis pour your spine forward. The spine just follows. And then push into the feet. Rise back up. And we go to the left. So bend the left knee a little bit and just start to reach over the left foot, supporting your spine in this forward fold side bend. That's always interesting. And then same thing to the right. Then when the right hands come down, turn the right toes to the right and turn the left heel out a little bit. And then push into the feet, rising up, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach up. And then bend into the right knee, bend into the elbows, let the heart open. And then tip off to the side and shift the weight into the right foot. Bounce a couple of times so you feel that right quad firing up. And then push into the right foot, lifting the back foot a few inches. Bend everything. So it's almost like you're crunching into a little ball. And then push into everything to open up. Set the left foot down, and we'll repeat. So push into the right foot and reach arms up. Bend right knee, bend elbows, Virabhadrasana 2. And then tip over to the right. Come onto the back toes, shift the weight into the right foot, hover the back leg, and then start to bend everything like you're getting really small. And then open everything and feel your body expand. Nice. Set the back toe down. Let the heel swivel up, left hand down. And I'm going to encourage everyone to just drop that back knee, open off to the side, let the hips really melt here after all that work. And then release the right hand down inside of the right foot and kick into the right heel for a hurdler position. Wag the tail from side to side and just feel the connections through the back of the right leg. You can keep that knee bent slightly. Keep breathing. And then bend into the front knee, bringing the sole of the front foot down. Tuck back toes, bring back knee in a little bit until you can bring the knee all the way down and bring the left hip down and then twist to the right. And if you want a little deeper opening in the right hip, at this point you can cross the right foot over the left knee, and that will just help open the outside of that leg. I see some people already did that. So that's great. You were feeling it, and so you just honored that. That's awesome. And then lift the top leg, give it a little cradle, say, thank you for doing all that hard work for me. And then set the right leg in front of the left and just pause, just breathe. So no surprises. We'll repeat that sequence on the second side, and then we'll start to cool down, just so you know where we're going. We'll have some time for meditation and then Shavasana. Bring hands to the heart and just allow yourself to relax. Imagine you're not even a body. You're just your breath for a moment. You guys have been moving so fluidly and gracefully. Just imagine for this last vinyasa, you're just your breath flowing through space. The body's just along for the ride. When you're ready, drop the palms, take a couple of breaths, and then we'll circle forward, circle to the right, circle to the left. Arms up, knees up, left hand behind you, push down to untwist. Walk the hands forward, press the hips to the heels. It's fine to keep the toes tucked if you want to. And then push down to the legs and the hands rolling forward. Drag the hands back, glorified cow. And then keeping that nice length in the spine, push into the hands to send the hips up, letting the body unfold. Slowly shift the weight to the right, drag the left hand back a couple of inches, and then reverse and reverse, letting the hips swing. Notice if the hips swaying from side to side can actually do the work for you, dragging one hand at a time. Pause in Uttanasana and just notice we've done so many forward folds. Maybe you're in quite a deep forward fold here without forcing anything. And then push down into the feet, slowly reverse melt all the way up, lift the hands, shift the weight to the right, elbows down, knee up, tree pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Option to challenge your balance. And then left foot forward, shift the weight forward and back. And then bend the left knee, drag the hands back, let the heart open. Notice a sense of pushing down into the feet to allow the whole front of the body to lengthen. And then circle the arms forward. The first round, we just go into the forward fold. And then we press into the foot to rise up. Bend the front knee, drag the hands back, open the heart. And now we have the option to take flight. So as you circle the arms forward, instead of going down, just reach forward, shifting the weight into the left leg. Reach the right foot and the hands apart, and just notice any sense of your core completely supporting you. You're just the breath, right? You don't have any body anyway. Bend the left knee, release the hands down, let the right leg lift, hug inner thighs together, and then let everything open up. Right foot down underneath the right hip, bend the knees, and then push down into the feet. And move as slowly as possible. Try to feel every moment of the spine stacking, of the arms floating up, of the breath coursing through the body. Weight to the right, elbows down, foot up. Vrikshasana, take a breath. And last round. So left foot forward, shift the weight. When you're ready, drag the hands back, let the heart open. Take an extra moment here. And then circle the arms forward, either fold or take flight. And then we'll all release the hands down and lift the right leg up. Bend both knees, hugging inner thighs together. And then shoot the right leg back. Turn all 10 toes to the right and walk the hands over to the right. Option to bend into the right knee or shift the weight from side to side. You guys know the drill. I should just stop teaching and let you guys just do your thing, because everybody is doing a great job of being intuitive. Press into the feet, gently push the hips forward and allow the spine to stack. Reach up. Bend knees, pour the pelvis forward, and just let the spine pour out of the pelvis. Push into the feet, reach the arms up. Same thing over to the right. Reach back up. Same thing over to the left, and then plant the hands, turn the left toes out 90 degrees, and then the right heel out any amount that allows the hips to feel closed and supported. Push down into the feet, reach the right arm forward, up, and back. Pause in Virabhadrasana 2. Again, shift the weight a little bit. Let the hips relax, and then straighten the legs, reach up. Bend the left knee, cactus arms. Tip over the left leg, shift the weight, and hover the back leg. Find a drishti, bend knees and elbows, And then extend the limbs, letting yourself just weightlessly float. Set the right foot down. Let's repeat. Straighten the left leg, reach up. Bend left knee, cactus arms. Tip over the left leg, shift the weight, hover right leg, bend everything just a little bit, and then extend everything out like a star. You guys are all stars. Beautiful, Radharani. Set the back foot down. Last round, straighten left leg, reach up. Take an extra breath just to prepare for the glory that you're about to do. Bend the left knee, bend the elbows. Feel yourself anchor at your center. And then tip over the left leg. Let the weight shift. When you're ready, hover the right leg. Let everything soften. And then let everything open with support. Wish I could take a screenshot. Tori, you look very strong. Everyone looks really strong here. And then let the back toes come down. Let the back heel spin up. Right hand down. And just for balance, I'm going to force everyone to drop the right knee this time. Lift the left hand. And just let the hips melt. Let them soften. Release the left hand down. Kick into the left leg. And wag the tail from side to side. Bend into the left foot. Slide the right knee forward. Swivel the shin, bring the right hip down. And then whatever you did on the first side, so keep the left foot where it is or cross it over the right leg for a little bit more release on that outer left hip. And lengthen the spine as you twist up and back. Take a couple of massaging breaths. And then gently untwist and actually turn to face me. It doesn't matter which way you are on the mat, but just so it's easiest for us to see each other. Bring the soles of the feet together and just bounce the knees a couple of times, not trying to force any depth of pose, but just letting everything be really relaxed here. And then bring the right heel in, and instead of extending the left leg dramatically off to the side, just have it off at like 10 o'clock. And then place the hands in front of you and start to sway the spine from side to side. Bend the left knee a little bit so there's no tension. If the hands naturally want to walk forward, go for it, but you don't have to force anything. Then walk the hands over to the left so they're on either side of the leg. And without moving the heel, traction it back towards the hip. Notice the knee bending and see if you can reach the spine a little bit longer when you do that. And then kick into the heel, extend the leg, and slowly rise up. And we're going to do that a few times. So traction the heel, feel the leg energize, and try to reach the heart above and beyond the toes. And then kick into the heel. Feel the tension it creates in the back of the body and let that tension pull you back up. And take a few waves like that, starting with the heel dragging, ending with the heel kicking. Try to move really slow and consciously, letting all the tension drip out of the body. Nice, Kaylin, you got it. You totally got it. The next time you come into the pose, if it doesn't feel too intense, you're welcome to stay there. Your breath can be your movement at this point, or if you want to gently sway from side to side, that can help you explore the different hamstring attachments. And then push into the hands, and this time use the hands to guide you up so there's no effort in the leg, and just pause for a moment at the top. Lift the left leg. And start to twist towards the right knee and set the left leg on top. If that's too much, it's okay if it looks more like Urdhva Matsyendrasana, but if it's comfortable, you can let the knees go towards stacking. And it wouldn't be this class theme if we didn't do a few more of those circles, right? But don't worry, this is the last time until, well, this and then the other side. And so notice as you take these circles, any sense of being able to open through the outside of the hips. And it's not about going far or deep. The beauty of this motion is it really gives us a lot of support and keeps us quite buoyant. If at any point you want to pause and breathe, you can. And then push down into the hands, slowly rise up. Walk the hands behind you, lean back, let the legs gently uncross, plant the feet nice and wide, give a little windshield wiper, and then we'll do the second side. So now the left heel comes in, the right leg extends, and it's not wide, right? It's almost like our normal Jana Shirshasana, but just like we're giving ourselves some space today. Hands in front of you, bend the right knee, and just play with swaying a little bit. We've done so much to open our posterior chain, so just explore that. Explore any sense of fluidity, any freedom to not just go forward and back, but to explore three-dimensionally. And then walk the hands to the right, bend the right knee, feel that dragging with the right heel. Feel it engage the whole back of the right leg, and see if you can just reach the heart beyond the toes. And then kick into the leg, let the leg extend, rise up. And then heel drags, knee bends, heart reaches. Heel kicks, leg extends, heart floats up. Once you get the hang of it, smooth it out. There's no beginning, there's no end. It's just like a circle. Nice, Tammy. Good, Octavia. That looks really fluid. Everybody's moving so slowly with a lot of control. I know you're feeling it. The next time you come into it, you're welcome to pause if that feels okay. Gentle sways or just the breath can be your pulsing. And then push into the heel, slowly rising up. Sit up nice and tall. And then lift the right leg and right knee and start to cross the right leg over the left. And maybe the right ankle comes to the left knee, or maybe the shin, or maybe even the knee, right? But don't force it. Make sure you can wiggle around a little bit and find some freedom. And then lengthen the spine. And either just melt forward or take now for real the last few circles to explore the depth of this pose in a really safe way, right? These circles keep your core on, and so you can't force yourself to go beyond what is in your active range of motion. And feel free to pause and breathe. And then push into the hands to come up. Lovingly lift the right leg and open. And then just sit cross-legged. If you would like to grab a pillow or blanket to sit on, you are more than welcome to do so. And at this point, I will encourage you to turn the music off. And we'll work with our breath flow. Each of you found so much fluidity in your movement, I could see it. And so we'll see if we can mirror that with our inner fluidity. So take your time, sit comfortably, and allow the spine to naturally stack, but let go of any effort, any gripping in the back muscles. It's okay if you even, I don't want to use the word slouch, but just soften. So there's no tension. You're not allowed to build tension at the end of yoga, okay? And then just link the thumb and index finger in a mudra that helps keep the energy inside. Let the hands rest on the thighs. Close the eyes. And resist the urge to change your breath. And instead, just try to observe the breath flow. Notice the sensations of the inhalation. There's a subtle quality of opening, drawing in, letting yourself be nourished. Can also notice the qualities of the exhale. Just a gentle release and softening. It's release of the breath, but also tension. Releasing the grip of the thoughts. Notice any sense of letting go on the exhale so that you can sink more deeply inside. And it's challenging to stay with just the breath. And so often we use a mantra to make our meditation a lot more powerful with sacred vibrations. So we'll use the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. All of you know it. I know all of you, and you all know it. And so as the breath continues to flow in and out without manipulation, see if you can attach that mantra just as effortlessly, as if the mantra just flowed in with the inhale and the mantra just softened with the exhale. And imagine the mantra just as quiet as the breath. In our yoga practice, we create so much inner space. And so with your gentle breath and mantra repetition, imagine you're depositing each of these mantras into this newfound space. You're filling yourself with this supreme consciousness. With every conscious breath, every conscious mantra. And if you notice a thought or a tightness, almost think of it as like, hey, wait, I don't want that to fill this space. Right? And see if you can come back to the breath, back to the mantra, keeping this beautiful freedom you've created inside, only letting the highest potential anchor in Om Namah Shivaya, and just let everything else go. And if you're in the zone, you are welcome to stay upright and keep practicing in this way for as long as it feels constructive. And at any time, you're also welcome to recline and absorb your practice in Shavasana, just letting everything release and soften. And each one is best. So don't feel like, oh, I should do this or that. Try to really feel what would serve you. For the last couple of minutes, I'm going to play a really simple chant. The words are just Om Namah Shivaya with different melodies. And you're welcome to chant along. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana and just receive the vibrations. Whatever feels most nourishing to you. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 And just, if you're still reclined, take your time consciously enjoying your way up to seated, and we can all meet with hands at the heart, just breathing. Imagine you're a dry sponge and you're just soaking in all the nourishment that we've created together through our practice. And just feel yourself drawing all of that nourishment into the core of your being. And thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. It's so great to see you. Just a heads up, and sorry to advertise, but 3 weeks from tomorrow, we do have a dance of shakti training. So that's our creative sequencing vinyasa flow training, and it meets once a week on Thursdays. So if you're interested, shoot me an email and I can give you more details. I think that is my only announcement. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, for our teacher training, we're having meditation every morning, 7 a.m. Hawaii time, so that's 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you're interested, send me an email and I can send you the link. It's just 30 minutes, or actually 25 minutes of guided meditation. So if anybody's interested, you're more than welcome to join for that. If you've got questions, I can stick around. Otherwise, have a great week. I really love you guys a lot. Absolutely. So good to see you, Radharani. Thanks for coming. Hi, Octavia. I'm so glad you could be here. Hey, Tori. So good to see you. Bye, Tammy. Thanks for coming. Oh, absolutely. It makes me so happy when you can be here. So thanks for.
Me too. Hope to see you next week.
Yeah. How are you? Everything good?
I'm great. Yeah, everything's good. Yeah.
That's really saying a lot these days, so I'm so glad to hear it.
Enjoying the time at home. So it's been good, and everybody's healthy and all that.
That's all
So,
we can ask for, right?
but yeah. So good to see you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.